debris picked up from our roads, a career outlook, and a boat race. Hello everyone and welcome to Shelby This Week. All those top stories and more, but first, yet another successful cleanup day for Shelby Township as residents hit the streets picking up debris from our streets. Stacy Sansatera talks about keeping Shelby beautiful.
The Shelby Township Cleanup Day took place recently as over 800 volunteers came out to clean up the township. This important event, sponsored by the Beautification Committee, has taken place for almost 30 years.
Our motto is cleaner and greener, and this is our way of beautifying the township.
And beautifying the township would be no easy task without the help of so many volunteers.
A lot of people enjoy giving back to the community, and we have a number of groups who have participated with us since the beginning. We're just so grateful that they have a commitment to beautify the township, and I sincerely thank everyone for their participation.
And that being said, it's time to hit the roads.
Well, the Shelby Lions clean up most of Auburn Road and Mound Road all the way down to Hall. So we cover about a 2.5 mile area. We do this every year. We meet at the Coachman Lounge, and some of us get started here up at the Quinder and work our way back. The nature of our club is always to give back to our community. Everything we do, the Lions Club makes sure that the community benefits.
You know what, I think it takes an entire team, and for us it's the whole Shelby team in this community to keep our roads and keep our city looking beautiful.
You know, it's surprising how much stuff that you don't see when you're just driving down the roads, and when you start walking up and down with the trash bags and you're looking for the trash, there's really a lot out there. So I always notice after we do this that it just, everywhere we drive we see orange bags. That's just a nicer place.
In addition to all the hard work taking place on the roads, the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee played host for the Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day. Residents were given the opportunity to bring their hard-to-get-rid-of items for safe and environmentally friendly disposal. And so, while residents rid their homes of unwanted items, volunteers continue to clean up the roads.
It's looking pretty good this year, even though the weather's been a little bit bad. Looks like some of the people have gotten out and got a little head start on it.
It's fun too. It's fun, especially when you do it with other people, and you learn a lot. You meet a lot of people. Like, I didn't know either of these ladies before this.
I learned that people love smoking Marlboro cigarettes.
Yes, we found about 10 packages, so that's the popular brand around here. What's the weirdest thing we found cleaning up?
The sleeping bag.
The Shelby Township Cleanup Day no doubt improves the appearance of our township while increasing neighborhood pride among residents. For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
Looks like it was a great cleanup day. What do you want to be when you grow up? Sixth graders were asked that very question at an important luncheon. Nick Buckler reports.
Students from across Utica Community Schools came together Wednesday, April 29th for the district's annual Career Luncheon. 2,000 students were selected to attend this two-day event at Palazzo Grande in Shelby Township. Students at each table were accompanied by a working professional to talk about how they got to where they were today.
We have engineers, we have doctors, we have healthcare providers, we have technicians, we have teachers, and I could go on. I mean, there's a nice representation. There's police officers. We even have local elected officials sharing their careers, and business owners, entrepreneurs. It was just really a fantastic gathering of businessmen and women talking to sixth graders.
The guest speaker for the event was Paul Glantz, the co-founder and chairman of Imagine Entertainment, who inspired students to chase their dreams.
What I'm doing here today is I'm here at Career Focus to tell our special people that are guests our jobs, and my job is a dentist. So the reason why I want to be a dentist is to help people actually show their smile and not have to hide their teeth. So I like to make people's lives happy and amazing.
Some students are already well on their way to success and have a good idea on what they want to do.
I chose video game designer because I'm really good with electronics, like really good. Like I already do coding and stuff. Like I know the basics and everything. I tried prototypes for video games already. And also I like video games too. Most people only do it because they like video games. Plus I also like helping people in my class for when they need help.
Political professionals such as Shelby Township Supervisor Rick Stathakis were also at the luncheon, where each table was equipped with a laptop to give students more of a hands-on experience. And the students really appeared to enjoy themselves in preparing for their future. For Shelby This Week, I'm Nick Buckler.
Always such a wonderful event for students. Speaking of schools, students recently participated in a fun, wet physics lesson. Arthur Schenk dives into this next story.
Eisenhower High School's pool was crowded this past week with competitors, each trying to be first to complete one lap of the pool. But unlike most events here at the Eisenhower pool, most competitors don't sink. That's because the contestants were competing in Eisenhower's 2015 Cardboard Boat Regatta, where students from Eisenhower's building trade, auto, and physics classes build watercrafts out of cardboard and then race them in competition that makes learning look like a whole lot of fun.
It gives every kid a chance that doesn't always typically get involved in activities at school to get into another activity here, within our own classes. So, the boys and girls all kind of had to work together, kind of figure out their roles. A lot of the kids, sank really quickly, but there's a lot of value in obviously failing. There's a lot of learning value in failing to be able to succeed later on. We can go back and evaluate what they've done, how we would change it. We're going to talk with the kids here next week, all as a group, and just kind of evaluate things and see what they would have done differently.
When you have a collaborative effort like this and bring 4 different sets of classrooms between construction and architecture and mechanical drafting and physics and autos together and say, hey, you have to do this, you have to perform, and we're mixing you up. You're not going to work with all your friends. You're going to have different people get the job done, and they did a wonderful job, so it's been fantastic.
Now obviously cardboard is not a building material that comes to mind when you're building a watercraft, which makes planning and the preparation of this vessel that much more important. It also creates a wide variety of boat designs and highlights ways designers approach their ideas.
Well, we basically just came up with the design and then just wanted to make it strong. Unlike some of the boats that didn't make it weren't strong. So we had cross members underneath and a lot of supports for it. We did that so we can make it bigger. The bigger we thought it would be, the more sturdy. And then especially for width, which is what I think helped us.
Well, I thought our boat was pretty solid, except we sunk pretty fast because we both went to row on the right side and leaned, and then we just tipped over. So I think it was more planning would be a better idea to figure out who's going to do what when we're in the boat.
Which can make all the difference of being displayed in the winner's circle or being carried to a fate unfit for a seagoing vessel. In the end, the Fighting de Cardenas proved to be the champion of this round, despite hard-fought and buoyant battles from the competition. With names like Bodie, the Township, the SS Bubba Gump, and the Titanic, one would expect a wide array of results, with some living up to their names.
The boys from my woodworking class obviously asked me right away if they could name their boat after me. I said, sure, absolutely. That's the fun of all of this. And it's exciting to see some, like I said, a couple sophomores that really got into it, and they went along the way and put a lot of extra effort into it. So.
Well, and you do know that the Edmund Fitzgerald was named after someone too, right?
I do, yes. That was, and good thing that this one didn't sink yet. So.
As you can see from the laughs, the cardboard regatta was fun for both those involved as well as those in attendance. So don't be alarmed if discarded cardboard boxes from appliances start showing up in local pools around the area. It could be Eisenhower students preparing for next year. From Eisenhower High School, I'm Arthur Schenk reporting for Shelby This Week.
All right, Arthur, we'll keep a lookout for some new appliance cardboard boxes for those students. And speaking of schools, Eisenhower and the Utica Academy for International Studies got top grades recently. The two schools have been named the 2 of America's most academically challenging high schools by the Washington Post. Out of the 2,000 schools in the nation, Eisenhower High School was ranked 37th. UAIS was ranked 2nd in the Midwest and 52nd in the nation. This is the third year in a row that Utica Community Schools have been recognized. The Washington Post bases this on student participation and academic programs. The UAIS has only been around for 7 years, but is doing quite well so far. Eisenhower also is a Michigan Exemplary Blue Ribbon High School. Coming up, what's going on the May 5th voting ballot? Charlie?
Election day is just around the corner, and that means campaigns are in full swing to sway your vote. Coming up, I'll give you the latest update on Proposal 1 and where both sides stand.
That story and much more after this.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach
likes
your
you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
We have a hot topic that's fast approaching us now. Charlie Cadotto reports on what Michigan voters have to look forward to.
The Proposal 1 campaign is quickly coming to an end. On May 5th, voters will ultimately decide whether they want to see the state sales tax increase from 6% to 7% to fund Michigan's roads. Prop 1 supporters admit the bill takes time to understand, but although it isn't perfect, they say it's the only opportunity.
I understand that the bill is long and complex and very difficult to understand. But without this bill, the roads and bridges in Macomb County will not improve. I support it. I think we should all vote yes on this proposal. I know many people oppose it, but they need to realize that without this additional funding, things are not going to get better.
According to the Road Commission, that additional funding would be huge for Macomb County. That's millions of dollars for roads and bridges.
In the end of 2016, it will bring an additional $8.8 million into Macomb County for roads. The end of 2017, it will bring $17 million additional dollars. In the end of 2018, Macomb County will see $26 million increase per year for road and bridge construction.
But where does the rest of the money go? Only a portion goes to road funding. So Proposal 1 would add $1.3 billion in new revenue for roads. That's a 25% increase from what's already in place. That includes $300 million for schools, $260 million for the Earned Income Tax Credit, $100 million for mass transit, $100 million for revenue sharing, and $16 million into the general fund. But that's not all. There's also an increase in the Michigan gas tax for the average family that purchases 18 gallons of gas per week at $2.79 per gallon. That's around $45 more per year. The Prop 1 campaign say it's been hard to explain to voters because of its complexity. They've been working hard to sway any last-minute voters in recent weeks.
We're working our tails off. It is a proposal that takes time for people to understand. It is long. There's no question about that. May of an off election year is not a time when we are used to going to the polls here in Michigan. But we're using television ads, radio ads, digital ads, direct mail pieces, and we have literally 115, 116, 117 now coalition members across the state.
Meanwhile, Shelby State Representative Pete Lucido says no way to Prop 1. He's opposed to increasing taxes and says the state should have an alternative plan.
Why would I want to go raise taxes? Why would I want to be one of the highest sales tax in this state or in this country? I don't. I think the people have been overtaxed.
But the Macomb County Road Commission says it's been a while since taxes have gone up.
Taxes funding roads have not increased since 1997. That's a long, long time.
So on May 5th, voters will decide where they stand while Lansing tries to dig up alternatives. For Shelby This Week, I'm Charlie Cadotto.
Congresswoman Candace Miller announced recently she won't be running again for her seat in Congress. Now, politicians are perking interest for that seat. Alan Sanborn, local politician, declared he's running for U.S. Representative for Michigan's 10th Congressional District. Sanborn was a state representative from 1998 to 2002 and was in the Senate from 2003 to 2011.
Some of the crazy things that we're seeing coming out of Washington, I felt it was incumbent upon me to get into the race. Candace Miller leaving that void, it's going to take a person of courage and conviction to help try and fill that hole. And I'm going to be fighting for many of the same things that she was fighting for. I'm going to be fighting for the Great Lakes. I'm going to be fighting for Selfridge Airfield Base. You know, I'm the only person talking about running that's actually a member of Base Community Council. So I'm actively involved with Selfridge Airfield Base, and Candace has been such a pillar of strength fighting for that. And now in this time of war, we see the importance, the imperativeness of having that military base open, not just because of the economic impact, but it's a great feeling knowing that we've got Selfridge Airfield Base there.
The 10th District includes Huron, Lapeer, Sanilac and St. Clair counties, and northern Macomb and Tuscola counties. Senator Phil Pavlov of St. Clair Township announced he's running for the spot as well. Shelby's growing, and the Shelby Township Police Department is showing much needed growth as well. A handful of the Shelby Township's finest received promotions. The police promotion ceremony took place at the municipal grounds recently. Shelby officer Lawrence Rice moves up to sergeant.
So help me God. Congratulations.
Jeff Daniel promoted to lieutenant.
Perform the duties of lieutenant
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
I further swear to obey the rules
I further swear to obey the rules
and regulations of the department.
and regulations of the department.
And Mark Coyle is the new deputy chief.
I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Michigan.
and the Constitution of the State of Michigan.
It was a community celebration as friends and family came out for support.
A significant day in their lives. This is a tremendous accomplishment to be promoted to these levels.
Jeff Daniel was promoted to rank of lieutenant, the first level of management, and to some, the most difficult.
Common things you'll hear amongst the troops is that he's changed. Well, guess what? It's not change, it's growth.
Mark Coyle, now deputy chief of Shelby Police.
It's really surreal. I mean, this has been a culmination of 25 years in this business, and it's really, truly an honor and a privilege.
To protect and serve, each one of these Shelby officers has years of policing background. Congratulations on all their hard work and dedication. Another profound Citizens Police Academy was a success. The Police Academy gives insight into how officers perform their duties and how Shelby Township Police serve the community. The Citizens Police Academy is a 7-week program that meets once a week, allowing residents to become more educated on police procedure and pressures that go along within law enforcement. Any Shelby resident can attend this free academy.
We have business owners, we've got residents, we've got young adults who are interested in law enforcement. Any township resident or business owner is more than welcome to apply. This is a phenomenal group. This year we've done 25 people. Each segment is taught by the police officers, and the police officers love doing it. This is the 7th class of the 7th week. So today is, we call it graduation day, and they get a certificate from the police department saying they've completed the 7-week Citizens Academy.
I like the fingerprinting, how they do the checking footprints and stuff. So it's really interesting how they do their detective work. So it's really hard to commit a crime nowadays and get away with it.
It was fascinating. What really struck out for me is that this isn't CSI. This isn't forensic files. This is like real police work and the way it really works. And the other thing that really stuck out to me is the commitment of our officers, the fact that Sergeant Taylor stays after his long day at work to teach us. And one night the class was so fascinating, instead of running from 7 to 9, we didn't leave until 20 minutes after 10. It was just like, we're just soaking up this knowledge. It's so great. I love it.
I think just getting the more knowledge of the everyday dealings that they do, or actually how more like a behind the scenes, the extra work that they have to put in, not just, arresting somebody, for example, but all the extra work that they have to do that goes along with that, just to keep us all safe. It's, I could not do what they do. That's a responsibility that they have, and we're very proud of them. They do an excellent job. So,
topics covered: criminal law, police procedure, narcotics, investigations, the K-9 unit, criminal investigations, family abuse, juvenile procedures, emergency response, dispatch, traffic stops, accident investigation, alcohol enforcement. Each course is evaluated and changed up to focus on what intrigues citizens the most. A special day, May 8th, Victory in Europe Day, also known as VE Day. This day in history commemorates the end of fighting in Europe during World War II. Nazi Germany was defeated, millions of people were killed, and Germany's dictator Adolf Hitler committed suicide. Fighting stopped on May 2nd, and Germans formally surrendered May 7th. The original planned date for the celebration of VE Day was May 9th, 1945, but journalists caught wind of the plans, so the United States and Britain moved the date by 1 day to May 8th. Cinco de Mayo is just around the corner, and there's lots of ways to celebrate right here in Shelby Township. The Mexican celebration, which in Spanish means 5th of May, is celebrated in the United States and Mexico. Cinco de Mayo is a way to honor and commemorate the Mexican Army's unlikely victory over French forces at the Battle of Puebla on May 5th, 1862. Local restaurants are gearing up for the big celebration. Check out Taco Loco on Van Dyke and 24 Mile, Esplendidos on Mound Road just south of 23 Mile, and Mexican Village Restaurant on Van Dyke and 22 Mile. And remember, be safe, don't drink and drive. In health news, the creator of Weight Watchers, Jean Nidich, age 91, passed away April 29th in her home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Jean created a group weight loss therapy session in her own living room, which would go on to become Weight Watchers. Jean was a New York housewife who tackled her own weight problem, sharing her ideas with others, bringing Weight Watchers to a well-known company status. She learned over the years, no skipping meals, eat plenty of fish, fruits and vegetables helped shed extra weight. At her height of 5'7", she went from 214 pounds to 142 pounds. Weight Watchers was founded in 1963, and Jean became a millionaire, but when she was asked later in life if she still had all the money, she really didn't know. All that mattered to her was the millions of men and women who lost weight using her plan. Up next, quacking sounds and a rescue. We'll explain after the break.
This is why you get by on 4 hours sleep. Why you took a second job. This is why you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing and spend hours juggling the bills. This is why you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Now more options are available. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert today.
This next story will quack you up. A Louisiana firefighter used a duck call ringtone to lure some baby ducks back to safety. St. Tammany Fire Department responded to calls of little ducklings stuck in a storm drain. One firefighter slid into the drain and then pulled out his iPhone. He played the quacking ringtone on repeat, hoping it would lure the ducks out. And sure enough, it worked. The baby ducklings heard the quacking ringtone. 4 of the 6 mallard babies were rescued from the drain. Oh, that's so sweet. And that's Shelby This Week. You can watch us online all the time at shelbytv.org. And remember to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ShelbyTWPTV. Thanks for watching.